Hello everyone, welcome back to RedVsRed. I am TheSaffronMan and we're going to be playing Fenerbache literally in about 24 hours time, and I'm actually pretty hyped for this one. But there's some Manchester United news that I want to go through first. We're going to be talking about Joshua Zirkzee, we're going to be talking about a manager again as per usual, and we're going to be talking about Jose Mourinho a little bit because he's made a couple of comments which I want to talk about. But we're also going to be talking about our predicted lineup and our prediction for the game, so stay tuned for that. Please make sure you hit the follow button if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 100 follows or subscribers, and then we're going to start our own Discord and create a community around Manchester United. So if you are interested in that, make sure you hit the follow button. So let's get right on into it. Now, the first news I want to talk about is Joshua Zirkzee, because it's kind of crept on a little bit. So a few weeks ago, there were rumours that Joshua Zirkzee wants to leave already and go back to Italy. And I was like, oh God, it's a strange rumour, but I won't think nothing of it. But it turns out that rumour over the last few weeks has grown and grown. And there's like 3 Italian clubs from Serie A that are interested. Apparently Joshua Zirkzee is mentioned that he kind of wants to leave already. He's worried that Hojlund is the main striker since he's come back from injury and he's not getting enough opportunities and minutes. So it's a bit of a strange one, because we've only had him for a couple of months. We spent, what, 20... Oh, let me just double check on how much we bought him for. I think it's like £23 million or something. So, look. Okay, so we spent 36.54 million to bring Joshua Zirkzee, which is no small feat, right? He's 23 years old. He's got lots of mileage ahead of him. But when he first started playing for Manchester United, he just seemed okay. Like, linking up play. He's not that fast, but he's definitely something different that we've had. He scored that 1 goal, hasn't scored since. I think he's just overly frustrated. But it's strange that these rumours of him wanting to leave are just not dying down. So, look. Even if he does go in January, I would hope we at least get a profit on it, like 50, 60, something like that, because we see the potential, and he's doing bits for international, for Hojlund as well. So, yeah, it's very strange. I hope we get some money back if he does leave. But honestly, I think he's got a part to play in our season, especially leading up to January. I think it could be Christmas. I think games come thick and fast over Christmas, so we rotate our squad quite a lot. Hojlund, has had injury issues before, so the chances that Hojlund is going to be injury-free for the rest of the season is unlikely. So look, we're going to need someone like Zirkzee throughout the season. So again, it's just a strange one, Like, he's been here a couple of months and already he can't. There's rumours that he wants to leave. So it's a bit strange. I hope it doesn't happen, but we'll have to see. I just thought it's worth bringing up, right? The other thing I want to talk about is Manchester United are still talking to other managers. Now, Manchester United, or the articles that have come out over the last few days, apparently we're talking to Xavi, the ex-Barcelona manager, which, again, it's like we've just given Ten Hag an extension. This summer was weird, right? We won the FA Cup. Ineos do their due diligence and try and find another manager. They talked to Tuchel, who's now manager for England. They talked to Pochettino, who's now manager of USA. So our replacements are getting few and far between. But Xavi is one name that keeps cropping up at the moment. And apparently we've talked to him actively over the last week or so. And he's even been to the session. I think Zinedine Zidane has been to Old Trafford over the last 10 days. So it's strange, right? Zinedine Zidane would be the best, but he doesn't speak a lot of English. Xavi is kind of untested. He did well at Barcelona. Man United's a different kettle of fish. But there's one person that hasn't really been talked about that I would probably prefer above Zidane and Xavi, and that's Andre Iniesta. Not a lot of people are talking about him, but Andre Iniesta is looking for a job, actively looking for a job. And I just preferred his mentality as a player. Like, yes, like Xavi and Iniesta were just two sides of the same coin. They were the best partnership probably in the midfield that we probably had in a long, long time. They were the cream of the crop when they were both playing, right? But yeah, I wouldn't like... I just don't like the fact that Manchester United have agreed an extension of contract for Ten Hag, And yet we're still actively talking to other managers, seeing what our options are. It's not a good fit. Like, it's not a good feeling. If I was manager of Manchester United, I don't know. if I was manager, I would be insulted that I've been offered a contract extension, and yet they're bringing people like Zinedine Zidane to the club and Xavi to the club. We're talking to Tuchel on and off on a regular, even though we're not talking to Tuchel anymore. It's just a strange situation, and there's a complete lack of respect for a current manager, and I don't like that, right? So, as much as I dislike all of these discussions over our manager, I understand them because things aren't great, but we have to give our manager time. Like, we've just given him a contract. We can't afford to sack Ten Hag. We've just got rid of Sir Alex Ferguson because of the 2 million extra a year that we're going to be getting. I don't think we can afford to sack Ten Hag, and I think that's the bottom line. I think that's why we're going to keep him until at least the end of the season, and I'm honestly happy with that. But the fact that Ineos are actively talking to other managers is kind of crazy. So I think it's disrespectful. I'm not a fan of it. Hopefully we get some decent time for our players to try and sort out our season, right? The next story I kind of want to talk about is Jose Mourinho. He's come out and said that, you know, United are backing Ten Hag. They're showing trust and faith in Ten Hag when they didn't show trust and faith in him. He said, it's all right for me to say, I told you so, right? With all the issues that are going on in Manchester United. But, man, Jose Mourinho, he did way more. He cocked so many things up. Like, the way he was talking about, we have one of the best youth academies on the planet. Even more so with Ineos coming in, because we brought a whole bunch of players for our uses of Tony Obi-Martin, Sakura Kone, just to say a few. But yeah, we have a ridiculously talented academy. And the fact that he was blaming the academy and having a go at the academy, that they're not good enough and everything else, that left a really sour taste in my mouth of how Jose was just acting at the time. He kind of lost the plot, and he was saying some strange things in the conferences, in the interviews and stuff. But he knew there were issues. He couldn't deal with the issues, and that's fine. But the fact that he's saying, I told you so, is kind of, yeah, it makes sense. But he's also saying that they've shown faith in Ten Hag to keep him, and they've shown trust. But I've just talked about how they're talking to multiple other managers whilst giving... It's like double dating. Like, you're cheating on someone. You're trying to get the best of both worlds. It's like having a wife and a girlfriend. It's like, what are you doing? Just stick with the wife. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, Jose Mourinho, it's going to be... He's going to throw the kitchen sink at us tomorrow. Fenerbache. He's going to do whatever he can to try and beat us. And I'm pretty sure if I was a betting man, I would bet that Jose Mourinho are probably going to get sent off at some point. Because, I don't know, I think he might just bubble over. Now, we are playing at Fenerbahce, so we're away from home in Europa League. But it's going to be a really tough battle. So let's find out who I've kind of picked as my starting lineup. So here we go. Now, we've got to remember that that Bruno Fernandes is suspended, right? So our captain is not going to be available to play. And Bruno's been captain for us for so long, and he's been available for pretty much 99.9% of matches since he's been captain. I don't even know who our vice-captain is. So I think it's going to be interesting to see who our vice-captain is. I've gone from De Ligt. I've put De Ligt as captain against Fenerbahce because he just leads by example. I've seen enough captain qualities from De Ligt in the handful of appearances that we've seen of him this season. Now, hopefully he's going to be injury-free and they've got that cut sorted out, whether he's wearing a cap or something, I'm not sure. But I think De Ligt is going to be our captain and he's going to play against Fenerbahce tomorrow. I would have selected Johnny Evans, but look, he played before the international break. He's played after the international break. Let's give him a break, and maybe he'll play again at the weekend. So, yeah, I'm going to go with De Ligt and Martinez as our centre-backs. I think Mazraoui, since he came on the other day for like 10 minutes or so, I think he might be fit enough again to start playing, so we'll put him at right back, which means we can actually take Martinez out of left back and go back to having Delot at left back. I think that's the best back four that we've got available to us. Lenioro's back in training, but he's not fit, a match fit, I should say. So I think that's a really solid back four that should hopefully get enough of the job done. And gosh, if De Ligt can rise to the occasion as potentially being captain for the match, God, we could see a gargantuan performance from De Ligt. So I'm excited to see that. If you know who our vice captain is, let me know, because I thought it might be Harry Maguire or something, but honestly, Bruno's played every match pretty much that we haven't really needed a vice captain. So yeah, I think De Ligt could be captain for this one. Now, again, because Bruno is suspended, I think we're going to go with Casemiro and Christian Eriksen. Christian Eriksen has been revitalised this season. Didn't play a lot last season, so he's got some spring in his legs. He's available to play. He's playing. He's scored so many goals. He's made some assists. He's just like done 8, 9, 10 out of 10 performances over the past month or so. He's undroppable at the moment, especially with Kobbie Mainoo, who's injured as well. Yes, Manuel Ugarte could be available, but he might come on as a sub and replace either Casemiro or Eriksen. I would love to see like Toby Collier get some minutes because he hasn't played since Liverpool. I just don't think that we can afford to rotate as much as what we would like to. We haven't had the best performances in Europe this season. We need 3 points drastically, so we need to play our in-form players. So Casemiro is going to be a good option for us, especially since he's actually... I don't know, he's kind of calmed down. I say calmed down. He's not doing 10 2-foot challenges per match anymore. He's making some reckless challenges sometimes, but most of the time he's actually making contact with these challenges now, not going to ground half as much. And he's actually worked up a bit of a rapport with Eriksen. They seem to be working well together. So I think that's a good defence in front of our back four that can help our forwards as well throughout. So I think that's a good pairing for those two, and I think if anyone else is going to be in the midfield, I would be surprised, right? So moving forward, I was going to start Garnacho. Garnacho has started a lot of games recently. Ahmad hasn't. So I think Garnacho will come on if we need him to. If we're like 2-1 down, or if it's like 2-2, 60 minutes to go, bring off Ahmad, bring on Garnacho, and then Rashford and Garnacho can switch, because they've done a lot of switching around as of late, right? So, yeah, I think this is a chance for Ahmad to get some minutes. I think Rashford is really kind of not back to his best, but he's getting there, right? He's making positive moves, long balls driven. He's being active. He's being fast. He's getting shots away. His performances have really raked up over the last few weeks. So yeah, I think Rashford is going to get in ahead of Garnacho. I think Amad Diallo is finally going to get a chance for some minutes, and I'm excited by that. The fact that we have 2 or 3 wingers that we can depend on to try and make a change, I think that's a really good effort. So, yeah, Garnacho on the bench, a secret, not so secret weapon to come on if things need changing, but I have 100% faith in Rashford and what Amad Diallo can do, and hopefully we can make that happen. But what I'm most excited about from this lineup, as you see here, is the fact that Bruno is suspended. We have an opportunity for the first time to play Zirkzee and Hojlund at the same time. Now, every time we've seen Zirkzee play, he's dropping deep, kind of like the Harry Kane. He's like a 9.5, not quite a 10, but he still takes up the same space as Bruno Fernandes does on occasion, right? And no one's at the front of the line. I think Zirkzee can play that role. If we don't have Bruno Fernandes, let's play Zirkzee in that role, and then let's have Hojlund ahead of him. I think this combination, which we haven't played with yet, could be deadly. As long as someone is ahead of Zirkzee, I'm happy. The fact that Zirkzee drops deep and we've got no one ahead of him, That's when I get a bit frustrated. Same thing for Harry Kane in England. He drops deep and like to the halfway line or whatever, and there's no one up front in the box when he does that 40-yard diagonal ball out to Bukayo Saka or Gordon or whatever, and there's no one in the box for the crosses and stuff. So Zirkzee sitting in that pocket. He's not that fast anyway, so he can link up play amazingly. Let's give him the opportunity. Let's give Zirkzee the opportunity to link up play to Rashford and Diallo, but we've still got Hojlund pushing the back four and trying to get beyond the back four and having that threat in the box at all times. I think this is a perfect opportunity, a blessing in disguise, if you will, that Bruno is suspended for this match. So, yeah, I think that's my lineup. Let me know what you guys think. And, am I absolutely wrong? Is De Ligt going to be vice-captain or captain for the day? Let me know what you think. In terms of scoreline, oh, God, it's just been basketball scores for in Europe all season. 2-2s, 3-3s, score draws, all out. But we need 3 points. And I need us to win against Jose Mourinho. Just for how he left and everything else. So, oh God, we are away. It's going to be tough, but I think we've had some decent-ish performances over the last couple of weeks. I think we're on a little bit of a momentum build. So, do we keep a clean sheet? Onana is, I'm not Onana's biggest fan, but he's pulled off some great saves as of late. But then there are some goals that he lets in. I think, oh God, what sort of position is that? So, I don't know if we can keep a clean sheet. We have the players and the ability to keep a clean sheet. It's just that we haven't, in Europe especially, we haven't been able to do that. So, I don't know. It's tough. There's going to be goals here. And it's Europe. It could be a 3-3 draw, but I reckon we could nick it 3-2, 4-2, maybe, depending if how long Garnacho has to play. If he comes on with 60 minutes, we might get a couple of goals. If he comes on with 70 minutes, he might just get the one. So yeah, I'm thinking 3-2. I'm going to stick with 3-2 to Manchester United. Fenerbache at home with the home crowd. They're going to be up for this. Jose Mourinho is going to get them up for this. I think they're going to get a goal or two, despite how good our defence can be. So, but again, I think the difference is going to be Zirkzee and Hojlund if that's how they end up playing. I think Zirkzee could have a really good match. And that would then mean Bruno can just play deeper in future. We just replace Casemiro, keep Eriksen and Bruno in the middle, deep, let Bruno just have a little bit of a free roll, ping balls everywhere in the future. I think that would be really great. But yeah, I'm going for Manchester United. 3-2 win away at Fenerbahce, Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce, and I think De Ligt is going to be captain for the match. That's my prediction, that's my lineup, that's my kind of news for the day. Remember, make sure you hit the follow button, let me know what you think down below. Am I right in these things? What's your prediction of the scoreline going to be? But I'm looking forward to this match, and I hope you are too, because we need 3 points, and I think we're going to get them here. Especially if we're adventurous and we have Zirkzee and Hojlund playing for the first time, starting for the first time. And maybe some of those Zirkzee rumours of him going to Italy might die down if he gets a couple of goals or an assist or something. If not, hopefully his price tag doubles. So, because that's the best that we can hope. If someone wants to leave that badly, we have to let them leave. We don't want anyone at the club that doesn't want to be there. So if he does want to leave, if he demands to leave in January, let's at least get a profit. So we'll see. Anyway, I've been TheSaffronMan. Stay tuned for Sporadiclese's video on Friday, where we talk about our game of the weekend. Let us know what you think. Make sure you hit the follow button and stay connected. And hopefully we can start a Discord channel real soon. Alright? Thanks for everything. Hope you've enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.